Okay, no formalities. I'm just going to go straight into this one. Now, imagine working your entire life to finally afford the car of your dreams, only to be swindled by a deceitful car dealer. And this is the heart wrenching story we uncovered just over 2 weeks ago. Here is the follow up we're going to be doing to this particular story. Meet Alan, a hardworking man who saved for years to buy his dream car, but his joy turned into a nightmare when the dealer refused to return his deposit after selling the car to someone else. The dealer's license has been suspended, but the question remains, how can the public protect themselves from falling victim to similar scams like this one? Hopefully, this video will explore the critical questions to ask when dealing with car dealers to prevent such fraudulent activities. But before we dive right in, please make sure you are subscribed to receive more content. Let's get straight into this feature by Local 10 News, who has done a tremendous job in bringing this to light. Let's go into this.
A South Florida car dealership is no longer allowed to operate in the state of Florida following a Local 10 News investigation. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles has suspended Dream Auto Collection's license.
That dealership took hundreds and thousands of dollars from a customer and never delivered. Local 10 News investigator Jeff Weinstein broke this story and is back with an update.
We are talking about $275,000. The victim in this case told he would get a full refund. We do know that just days after our first story ran, investigators were here going through the books.
I'm not going to talk to you. Please.
Last month, Oleg Tulenev refused to talk to us, but he now has to answer to state investigators. Dream Auto Collection's license to operate now yanked under this emergency suspension order. Oleg and his partner Victor Stefanik are no longer allowed to operate in the state of Florida. The order says the suspension is necessary to protect the welfare of the public.
Have you gotten your money back?
No, Jeff, I have not seen one red cent. However, we have several new investigators working on the case.
As we reported last month, Alan Su, who lives in Hawaii, saw this 2023 Mercedes G63 with an exclusive Brabus appearance package on Dream Auto Collection's website. He worked out a deal with Victor for $275,000, and records show Su wired Dream Auto Collection the money.
So we're going to ask the same question we asked the last time. If you're new and want to be familiar, is that what were the contract terms for the deposit? Because you have to understand your legal rights and obligations. That can provide a solid foundation for any disputes, and this is basically what Alan has done. So always read the fine print and ensure you have a copy of the contract, because it's crucial to know if the deposit is refundable and under what conditions. Now, every interaction with the dealer was documented, including emails, texts, and phone calls, and these can be pivotal in proving the case, hence why the authorities were able to move in. Local News 10 highlighted this. The authorities did so, and this dealer was kicked out of the state of Florida. Let's continue.
They were supposed to ship the G-Wagon to a port in San Diego, but it never made it. And Dream Auto, Victor and his staff were ignoring Sue until we got involved. Victor claims to be in Russia.
Victor sends me a text message saying, "Happy 4th of July. Don't worry, I'm working very hard to get all your money back."
The emergency order also says Dream Auto advertised several vehicles as available for sale online, despite the fact those vehicles are not on their lot or owned by the dealership. In Florida, the state requires dealers to obtain a $25,000 bond in order to operate, and customers like Sue can file a claim against that bond for money back when issues like this arise. But only $25,000?
Yeah, because a lot of those laws and regulations were in place ages ago, and the cost of everything else has increased. So no amendment was actually done. And what you're seeing here is another question. What are the dealership's refund policies? So you have to make sure you understand these policies before making any form of payments whatsoever. What was the timeline of events? And keeping a detailed timeline can help establish the sequence of actions and highlight any discrepancies. Lastly, what reasons did the dealer give for not returning the deposit? We have to scrutinize these reasons very carefully. Often they can reveal any form of inconsistencies or outright lies. Alan's fight for justice is not just his own. It's a cautionary tale for everyone navigating the used car market. So always research the dealer's reputation and ask for references, and don't hesitate to walk away if something feels off. Let's continue.
They advised me that they have several claims ahead of me on that $25,000 claim.
And that's not all. Local 10 News has learned Brabus is suing Dream Auto Collection, claiming several G-Wagons they were selling, including the one Sue paid for, had been modified with counterfeit Brabus branding.
Apparently, the car I bought was not a real Brabus. It was a fake.
This red one is a real Brabus. The 40-year-old company and their selected affiliates are renowned for modifying engines, interiors, and badging with aftermarket packages that can reach $200,000. Today at Dream Auto, there was no comment. As for Sue, when we talked to him last month, he was suicidal over the situation.
Seriously, Jeff, I thought about killing myself.
Today, he's better, hopeful, but realistic.
I was in a very dark place. Nobody was coming forward to help me. The likelihood of my getting my money back at this point seems to be getting less and less.
Criminally, the Hollywood Police Department, the State Attorney General's office, both investigating. A complaint has also been filed with the FBI, but they're not commenting. In Hollywood, Jeff Weinsier, Local 10 News.
So your hard-earned money deserves all the protection it needs. Staying informed and vigilant is maybe the only way we can protect ourselves and each other from falling victim to these auto scams. Unfortunately, they keep evolving and giving the industry a bad reputation because, as you know, one bad apple spoil the whole bunch, as how they say, but it's only just a small amount of players involved in scamming and giving the industry a bad reputation, and the cream always rises to the top. But in this case, karma comes knocking. Now he has Eva Brabus suing them for using aftermarket parts and selling them as the original. Hence, that's another scam right there, hiking the prices and letting people pay for what they don't actually have the real value of what it's supposed to be. It's very easy to do some of the scamming inside the automotive market. Gone are the days when the automotive market is also used for money laundering and everything else under the sun. It's very easy to pass money through within the industry. Can't get into the details, but those who have the experience and the know-how have seen it happen in the past, and so many different nuances. The laws need to be updated, how we can actually go about protecting our customers. The reputation of the industry depends on it, and all people want to do is buy the car of their dreams and be able to go about without depending on public transportation to carry them around. And now, with the help of Local 10 News again, the authorities are all over this deal. The easiest thing for him to do is just to go to another state and set up shop or go to another country. So don't be surprised, you'll see him working from somewhere else. Now let's go to some of these comments. Wiring that amount of money for a vehicle online is crazy. Yes, that is true, but we're in the age right now where everything we conduct is actually online. The thing about it is that some businesses still require brick and mortar. In this instance, I would have gone to look at the vehicle myself, test drive the vehicle, sit in the vehicle, walk around it, and have my mechanic inspect it for the things that I will not be able to pinpoint right there and then. It's always good to have the expert opinion, and that of a mechanic. Damn, American justice system sucks. All they did was suspend their license. What about the customers who lost their money? And this I mentioned earlier. We have to relook at the policies and regulations governing some of these dealerships. This one says he had $275,000 to buy the car unseen, but didn't have a couple of hundred to hire someone local to go and inspect what he was buying. Would have prevented the whole situation. This is also true. You're buying a used car, you need to look at it to know that what you're paying for is what you're actually going to get. This one says if you approach a car dealer to buy a luxury car and they can't even afford a real sign on the building, steer clear. Looks as if it was printed on paper. Laughing emojis. This other one says $275,000 and you scammed others 10 years in jail and deported would send a clear message. Sounds a little bit harsh. Sometimes it depends on the crime itself. Does the punishment actually fit it? This one says, dude will open out of state and easily continue. Yes, others have done that. They just lock shop, open another business, another LLC under a different company into someone else's name, and then it's business as usual. It's very easy these days to register a business. This one says, I was scammed earlier this year by this same company. I received my refund from them once Mr. Sue started his suit and investigation. I actually testified because they were advertising vehicles that were nowhere on their lot and wouldn't let me test drive the vehicle, and later found out the vehicle they tried to sell me didn't even have a title in their possession, and they signed me up for car insurance that didn't cover anything at all. The worst feeling in the world. Don't know how true it is, but in essence, this story opened up the eyes of so many other persons, and Mr. Sue actually got people, to the authorities rather, to come in on this particular dealership. I hope justice is served. I think the older we get, especially as older people, we get a little bit more naive and dementia sets in. I'm going to blame this on being a senior citizen, but at the same time, I think he was giving the dealer the benefit of the doubt and he dropped his guard. Can't beat him over the head for it, but these things do happen. But $275,000 is really something. As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments of this particular video, and we will continue to bring stories like this so everyone will learn what is happening out there in the automotive world. Don't be scammed. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.